Look at what's happening to Republicans at these town hall meetings. Now, of course, in 2009, we saw the Republicans going after Democrats big time when it came to health care. And all of a sudden, Congressman Paul Ryan puts this budget out. He's got seniors ticked off. And we know who votes in huge numbers, seniors. And you got Republicans right now saying, hey, Paul, thanks a lot for that proposal. But doesn't this speak to, first of all, the political advantage, if you will, for Democrats by saying, you guys go right ahead with your budget, but doesn't it really speak to the larger issue, and that is, as you said, when you tackle tough stuff, somebody is going to get hit. Do our politicians, Republican and Democrat, have the courage to confront?
Well, I mean, and I'll tell you, look at, Adrian Fenty, the former mayor here of the District of Columbia. He went out on a limb on education reform. He's no longer the mayor of the District of Columbia. And when you look at...
He also ran a stupid campaign.
It was
a horrible campaign.
Well, I'm not going to say that it was a horrible campaign. I will say he tackled a very difficult issue and he got knocked out on his keister.
But his campaign sucked.
If you look at federal and state elected officials, but particularly at the federal government level, I mean, I have to tell you personally, I admire Paul Ryan for actually saying something. I watched David Stockman, the former OMB director, I believe former OMB director under Ronald Reagan the other day, and I thought, this is fantastic. Somebody is telling the truth. I agree. There are going to have to be cuts everywhere. Right. Paul Ryan might suffer for it. He might not. But quite frankly, I think every Democrat...
Here's my prediction. Roland, here's my prediction. Paul Ryan, 20 years from now, will get a Profiles in Courage award because he did the right thing by at least standing up for something.
And he'll be called at 20 years a former congressman.
But it may be politically unpopular.
President Ryan 20 years from now.
Look what happened to George H.W. Bush in 1991. Back in '88, he said no new taxes, and obviously he raised people's taxes. He lost re-election. To your point, it takes political courage to do these type of things, and all of a sudden you're being demonized because you're willing to put your neck out there. So good for Paul Ryan, good for whomever Democrat out there that's literally willing to put their ideas out there, and they're going to be cannibalized, but at least good for at least thinking about this.
On this whole point about putting the ideas out there, you see President Obama's approval ratings going down. He also put it out there when it came to health care, suffered for it in the first year. Some say hasn't recovered from it. And so it does cut both ways in terms of when you put frankly, a radical, if you will, idea out there and you push it through.
Well, you put a radical idea out there, you push it through, but you also have to sell it. And it also has to be an idea that can be saleable. I mean, the flaw that I don't hear anybody talking about with the Ryan budget is not the fact that he was proposing bold cuts to entitlement programs that seniors like. I think what the problem was that it did not address revenue at all. It did not address the really tough decision, which is, you know what, folks, we all got to kick in if we want to get this revenue problem underway, this deficit problem underway. We got to kick in. It's for the national good. We did it way back when. We need to start doing it now. All of a sudden, for decades, we've been fed the notion that we can have what we want without having to pay for it.
Wait a second. On that point, look at it. All of a sudden, Speaker Boehner says, hey, we might want to consider cutting those oil subsidies with these record profits they're getting. Again, Republicans historically have complained about welfare. People stop getting government subsidies, but you have big business getting billions of dollars. Now, all of a sudden, the same party is now forcing Boehner to backtrack by saying, wait a minute, what the heck were you saying? Now he's saying it was misconstrued, but same thing. That's a tough call. But you can't keep giving money away to companies making billions of dollars.
Well, but that's what they're there to do, and that's what they've been doing up to this point. And this whole budget issue is a fraud. It was a creation of the cut the taxes on the wealthy in order to starve the beast. That came from Ronald Reagan's administration. Starve the beast. Cut the tax revenue base so that we can then come back and say we don't have enough money to fund the social programs. This isn't anything new. This is the whole objective of the Republican Party, is to move the government away from providing a safety net for the least of those in this country. And what we have seen over the last 2 years is the greatest redistribution of wealth in this country, going from the bottom to the top, over the last 15 to 20 years.
Gotcha.
Well, and also,
And the
this-
numbers prove that to be true. That is a fact.
10 seconds.
And this is what a lot of the anger at the now town hall meetings are about, because people see the safety net fraying. Medicare is not there. How am I going to get insurance if I'm obese, elderly, and have a condition? You want me to go to the free market? They're not going to give it to me.
All I'm saying is amazing how, when there are certain issues, Republicans love the safety net, Democrats love the safety net. So when you complain about somebody else's safety net and yours get cut, you might start drowning. That's what happens when there's no safety net.